The Green City Startup is an initiative of the City of Joburg which encourages green entrepreneurs to develop ideas in building, energy, water, transport and waste. This is the Green City Startup Show. This week, we visit Lenasia to see the community's environmental efforts. We find out about a new way to dispose of organic waste. We have a mentorship session with one of our experts, and we talk to Alan Shannon of Nedbank in the big interview. Dumelang, hello, and welcome to the Green City Startup Show. My name is Puna Silisho, and I'm excited to be sharing stories with you of all things green and entrepreneurial. Before we go any further, you can catch us on Facebook, the Green City Startup, and on Twitter at the GC Startup. We'd love to share and connect with you during and after the show. With more than 2 million Rand in prize money, these innovators will help make the city a greener place. Our show keeps you informed about the competition, their progress, and the green economy in general. Mickey Padiachi, Regional Director of Region G of the City of Joburg, has been very supportive of the efforts made by residents in Bedford Park, Lenasia. This is how our community has come together to make a change for the better.
My name is Mickey Padiachi, and my title is Regional Director for Region G, City of Johannesburg. Region G consists of 16 wards, and it starts from an area called Naturina, and it moves all the way down from Naturina to Eldorado Park, Lenasia South, Finetown, Annandale, and goes right to places called Kapok, and we end off in a place called Orange Farm. We started a program called Adopt a Spot, in which we then asked communities to, wherever there was dumping that took place, we asked the local church, the local daycare centers, the NGOs that's within that particular vicinity to adopt a spot and take responsibility.
Bedford Park community and the people that live in the immediate area have got up and said, we are going to take responsibility for our area, we're going to keep it clean, we're going to keep it clean of crime and grime, and we're going to get involved.
We all got together and we started cleaning up. The public themselves started to clean out here.
People then took responsibility for this area, adopted it and started a process in which they engaged with communities, raised their own money, put in their own time, their own resources, and turned this from a dump into a real civic pride area. The commitment, the passion to change their own environment is a crucial component to this entire Adopt a Spot project.
The regional director made time to sit with us and explain to us the whole concept of how he gets involved with us. With the help of the council, we have achieved by having this grass cut. They used to cut it twice in 3 months. Now they're doing it every 30 days, which gives a more cleaner appearance to the place. Makes it more safer for the public.
It was like a bush here before, and people used to dump a lot of stuff here, and people, they can't even move because of crime also.
We here during the day, we keep an eye on it and we make sure the dumping is to the minimum.
You could see the community, the youth, the young and old, different race groups getting involved, creating one community where this becomes a central point, a meeting place for the community.
We have a netball court here. We're busy with the jungle gym. We have a volleyball court on the top. We have a little soccer field, a miniature soccer field, just to kick around in the afternoon. And this place gets very, very busy in the afternoon. There is more peace up here. You can see the community getting together. People come out here on a Sunday, with braais, and they play ball up here, and the children play in the park.
It's utilized over the weekend, soccer, young people running around in the area. It's a hype of activity. And when you see this, it brings a lot of joy about what communities and the city of Johannesburg can do in partnership to create a greater society.
Everybody benefits. Whether you live in the immediate vicinity or not, the park is open to everybody. And I think that passion and getting us out here this morning, it said to me, Councillor, get out there because you can copy this in any other area in the city of Johannesburg.
In Annandale as well, people are seeing this. In Lenasia, people are seeing this. So they were coming to these 3 or 4 leaders and saying, show us how it's done.
It's better, it's look better, it's not 100%, but we are going there.
It's inspiring to see a community come together to make a positive change in their area. On the Green City Startup website, which you can find at TheGreenCityStartup.co.za, we have quite a bit of info that will assist entrepreneurs in improving and growing their businesses. Brandon, the man behind our social media, is ready to share some more knowledge with us.
Hi. Using social media for your business has become crucial to making your online mark. Online site Open Forum got together with young entrepreneurs and asked them about Facebook for Business. Here they are. First up, stop talking about yourself. Create content that is customer focused. Facebook effectiveness is measured through engagement. By creating content that is tailored for your followers, it's more likely they will engage with you and your brand. Secondly, use automation tools. These will help you to ensure that there is always fresh content on your feed, which can be planned in advance. Facebook has great scheduling function. Or alternatively, you can use Hootsuite or Buffer to manage multiple accounts. Thirdly, it's important to establish a dialogue with your fans. By keeping them informed and excited about your brand, they will share your content. You can also use Facebook to get feedback from them. Finally, it may sound like a cliche, but content is king. There is a lot of content available online, so the more you can differentiate yours from what is already there, the better. Your followers can see when effort has gone into your online posts and are more likely to spread the message and engage with your brand. So, to sum it up, focus on your customers, automate your posts, initiate dialogue with your followers, and never forget, content is king. That's all from me. So be sure to follow us on Facebook at The Green City Startup and on Twitter at The GC Startup. We're really looking forward to hearing from you. Until next time, keep focused.
To find out more about the Green City Startup and to stay up to date with all our happenings, you can go to our Facebook page, The Green City Startup, and you can find us on Twitter at The GC Startup. We'd love to share some more stories with you, so do connect with us. Green entrepreneurs are often driven by the need to improve our environment. Sometimes their useful innovations come from strange places, like a housefly. We spoke to Bernard Nodia about his interesting idea.
South Africa throws away roughly 10.2 million tons worth of food every single year, and that translates to 62 billion rands worth of food that ends up in a landfill. If you think about that in terms of what's wasted per person, that's about 1,000 rand that every South African throws away in terms of food that ends up in a landfill. I'm Bernard Nodia, and I'm the CEO of Agers Environmental. So the idea behind the bioconversion process is that we would source food waste from different kinds of businesses, such as hotels or packages or farmers. It is then made inert by heating it up, and that also kills then housefly eggs and maggots that might be in the food waste already. The food is then placed into this container over here, where the larvae then feeds on the food waste. When they reach their pre-pupation stage, they naturally climb a little ramp over here into a container. At that point, we put some of the larvae into another container where we've got UV lights that introduce, or rather induces, breeding and mating. And then we can source the eggs and then start the whole process over again. The amount of flies we would need is highly dependent on how large a facility we would like to build. So we would want to work on about 100 tons worth of food waste every day. And working on that sort of capacity, that means that we would need about 100 million flies. The flies actually occur naturally in South Africa, and they are a cosmopolitan species, so they occur all around the world. Getting the products from the flies is actually a reasonably simple process. The flies, when they reach their pre-pupae stage, self-harvest. In other words, they climb out of food in order to find a dry area that they can pupate in and then become flies. So at that point, we will harvest them. We will send them through a warm water bath in order to clean them as well as end their lives. And then they're sent through a simple oil press. The two products that are produced from putting the larvae through the oil press is then the protein, which is a product in itself, and then the oil, which is obviously then converted into biodiesel. There is about 5% food waste left, but luckily this is an organic fertilizer, so that can be used in various different applications. So the great thing about the biology of the adult black soldier fly is that they do not feed. And this means that they are not attracted to food waste or to human settlements, and they live for a very short amount of time, which means that they tend to not carry pathogens like, for instance, the adult housefly would. I have a team working with me. Our lead researcher will be Nina Parry. She's currently completing her MSc in entomology, focusing on bioconversion. We also have an electrical engineer who will then design some of the equipment that we would need, and we also have an investment company who will help us source more funding as well as with the financial side of the business. The benefits of using black soldier fly in bioconversion is that, first of all, food waste to landfill is reduced. We reduce food insecurity because we're producing more calories and more protein. And we are also then lessening the burden on our oceans because fish meal is being replaced by using a recycled product then. The way I came about this idea is when I was a child, my aunt, who's a health inspector, actually took me to see a landfill as part of her sort of going around Johannesburg. And seeing what a landfill looks like actually stuck with me for a number of years. And I thought, in my own capacity, what can I do? And I've always had a flair for recycling, if you will. And in the last couple of years, I've experimented with a couple of different ways of doing it, and then I came across this insect that we want to use in the bioconversion process, and it's just absolutely fantastic in what it can do. At Aegis Environmental, we hope within the next 20 years to get to recycle a total of 10 million tons every single year. Our vision is to significantly reduce the amount of food waste that's sent to a landfill, and then to reduce food insecurity and lessen the burden on our oceans.
The strangest ideas tend to be the best ones, so don't limit your imagination when coming up with your next innovation. Still to come, the mentors continue to train and support the finalists from the Green City Startup and other City of Joburg competitions. We get a news update from Nolo on entrepreneurial matters in the City of Joburg, and later we sit with Alan Shannon from Nedbank on the big interview. It's all happening right here on the Green City Startup, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Green City Startup Show, a City of Joburg initiative. If you log on to thegreencitystartup.co.za, you'll see that we source and share information about entrepreneurial matters in and around Joburg. This information can help you on your journey as an entrepreneur. So do read, like and share so that we can stay informed. As an entrepreneur, you can save a lot of time and money by learning from more experienced entrepreneurs. Every week, we have a look at our competition's mentor sessions. Here's Liz Dom from Inquisition to share with us her insights.
Hello, and welcome to the last webisode in our series on designing and growing a strong and successful business. You've now built your product to a point where customers can access it, but how do you go about significantly growing your base? Growth hacking is a broad term used to describe a mindset and associated activities that specifically focus on rapid user customer growth goals. Growth hackers, using their knowledge of product and distribution, find ingenious technology-based avenues for growth that sometimes push the boundaries of what is expected or advised. There's no single magic formula that can be applied for every business, but there are processes and tactics that you can experiment with to suit your particular needs. This could include prototyping, testing, and updating assets such as content experiments to generate leads on your website, providing an easy entry into your brand, such as optimizing your website landing page for signups and other conversions, using social media and blogging to involve users in order to engineer the social stickiness of your product, influencer marketing to reach your intended audience with sincerity, and then making sure your product offering provides a fast, hassle-free solution. And there are many other forms of measurable methods to achieve growth. In a startup, you need someone with a narrower focus on growth. If anything, a growth hacker is a marketer which has restricted their activities to growth alone. It is about being persistent in uncovering the tactics that work, allowing you to build upon minor successes as you slowly move your product forward. Visit our website for a list of handy resources for your growth hacking efforts, such as practical guides and templates to track your experiments. Also look out for case studies such as Airbnb to learn how some companies have managed to achieve exponential growth. Thanks for watching.
You can log on to our website, TheGreenCityStartup.co.za, to access more training sessions and get other downloadable information from our show. Talking about learning from industry experts, we had the opportunity to chat with Alan Shannon from Nedbank. Next, the big interview.
Hello and welcome to the big interview. Sourcing funding can be a difficult task for first-time entrepreneurs and small business owners. There are many things to consider when trying to raise capital for your business. Well, here to help us understand the financial options available to entrepreneurs is the Head of Professional and Small Business Banking Sales at Nedbank, Alan Shannon. Alan, welcome to the show and thank you for joining us.
It's a great pleasure to be here. Thanks for the opportunity.
Now, when a bank receives an application from an entrepreneur for funding, what are some of the things that you consider?
So it does depend on whether it's an entrepreneur who's starting out in entrepreneurship for the first time, or whether it's an entrepreneur that's been in business for some time. Most of what we see is actually from entrepreneurs that have been in business. And typically the type of things that we look for when specifically they're looking for funding is their track record. You know, transactionally, how have they performed since they started up their business? We will often ask for information that helps us understand and show us evidence of what that track record has been, whether it's in the form of bank statements held by us or with other institutions, financial statements, normally in the form of balance sheets and income statements, signed off by an accountant. So financial information is relevant. I think the other thing we look at as a bank is people's credit history. So it's one of the most important things people can pay attention to, because the moment you approach a bank and you come up to a bank with a credit history that perhaps is not as clean as we'd like it to be, you really are on the back foot when trying to seek finance from a bank in particular.
And is that a difficult process? Is it difficult for entrepreneurs to get funding?
It depends, because it depends on what they're looking for funding for. You know, so money comes in many forms from banks. There's short-term funding, there's medium-term funding, there's long-term funding. So it really depends on where you're at in your business life. I think people that are looking for funding to kick off new businesses, it is difficult, because they've got to put a strong case together that says they have an idea or a concept that is solving a problem that they feel very strongly about, that they have potential orders in the pipeline, and are able to project what sort of their cash flow is going to look like. As they come to us well prepared, even if they are startups, it's difficult, but it's not impossible. I think banks typically are not the best source of fundings for startup finance. You know, one of the things that's becoming more popular around the world, and particularly in South Africa, is crowdfunding. Finding people that are prepared to invest in you, whether it's through your family or friends or contacts, is often a good starting place to find some seed capital. So it can be difficult, but it doesn't need to be if you're well prepared as an entrepreneur.
What about someone who's young and who's only starting out and they don't have a credit record? What options do they have?
So they need really a priority for them needs to be around creating a credit record. I think as Nedbank, we will help them with that process by opening up and establishing a banking account and banking relationship for them. the quicker they can start transacting with a bank such as ours, the better, because behind the scenes a record is developing all the time. So I think we have a role within the bank called a relationship banker specifically for small business clients that come in and require assistance. And each case is different. Yeah. So our relationship bankers are there really to interpret the situation that each entrepreneur finds itself in and to provide them advice which is bespoke to their particular situation.
Let's talk about these relationship bankers.
Yes.
What specifically do they do for small businesses?
So I think they offer small businesses a single point of contact within the bank. They offer the small business entrepreneur the ability to start forming a meaningful relationship with someone within the bank that's going to help them on their journey, whether it's raising finance, being able to open up transactional accounts. I'll give you an example. As consumers, we know what it's like when we have faceless people on the other side of the telephone. For instance, if we were seeking to engage with a mobile phone company around our bill, the chances are we're going to have to phone when we get through to a call center, and we're not quite sure who we're going to get hold of on the other side of the line. And when we call again, there's a very strong likelihood that we're not going to reach the same person. Now that's frustrating for consumers because they have to tell their entire story again. A relationship banker negates the need for that because you have someone dedicated to your account, you tell your story once, they understand your business, and they walk through, they embark on this journey with you and provide you with all the advice and solutions you could need from a bank.
Do you find that funding needs differ between different sectors? So someone who's in medicine might need different funding options as opposed to someone who's in manufacturing per se?
100%. So from one industry to the next, there's different requirements. One takes the retail industry for a second. Often there's a finance requirement to help them bring in stock. There's solutions to help them accept credit cards through the mechanism of a point of sale machine. So there's some working capital requirements. Manufacturing clients have totally different requirements. They've got to be able to fund the purchase of raw materials. They've got to fund the equipment that is required to be able to transform those raw materials into a product. And then they need short-term facilities to sort of bridge that period between when they invoice out these goods and when they eventually collect payment from their clients.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
And that's it from us at The Big Interview.
In your headlines today, Newtown Junction hosts a free music festival. Maboneng Precinct stages an award-winning theatre production, and entrepreneurs showcase their work at the Capital Collective's market event. Hello, I'm Nozipo with this week's news. In less than a month, the Johannesburg district will host the Free Music French Festival in Newtown. Last year, the festival attracted more than 6,000 people to its concert at Newtown Junction. The organizers aim to attract larger crowds this year, following a new partnership with Total South Africa. According to Jean Bourdin of the French department at Alliance Francaise in Johannesburg, the festival is unique in its international appeal. It is expected to draw thousands of people from the Newtown Economic District. The pop-out theatre at the Maboneng Precinct will soon showcase the award-winning theatre production titled Savage Love in a 3-day show. The production has received national acclaim with its fusion of arts and an entrepreneurial flair. Savage Love plans to conquer international audiences with books and merchandise in addition to the play. Additionally, it has been written and produced by local talents. It is a drama production about love, exploring the theme of love's dynamics among Africans. The cast and crew of the play hope to bring the economy of arts back to South Africa. And in our final story, entrepreneurs came in their numbers to display their products and services at the Capital Collective's markets in Pretoria this past Saturday. The event aimed to provide a platform for young entrepreneurs to showcase their products and ideas. This all while allowing them to network with one another. Fashionistas, art lovers, and foodies alike embrace each other's offerings while being entertained by local artists at the emerging exchange markets. That's the news for this week. Remember to keep in touch with us through our social media pages or email us your pioneering entrepreneurial news at www.TheGreenCityStartup.co.za. From the news team, goodbye.
Next week, you don't want to miss out on our program, as we'll see how our contestants are doing in the competition, learn more from our leading experts, and of course, we chat with another expert on the big interview. Just before I go, don't forget to connect with us on social media. You can find us on Facebook, The Green City Startup, and on Twitter at The GC Startup. That's all from the GCS team and me, Puna Silisho. See you next week. Cheerio.